Hello the cop, please subscribe my channel for follow Liverpool Football Club news on every days. Jordan Henderson reaches agreement to leave Al Ettifaq. Jordan Henderson is closing in on a return to European football with Ajax after reaching an agreement to leave Al Ettifaq, according to a report. The midfielder controversially signed for the Saudi Pro League side in the summer of 2023, leaving Liverpool after a hugely successful 12-year spell. Henderson was previously seen as a major ally for the LGBTQ+ community, but his move to Saudi Arabia, where homosexuality is outlawed and punishable by death, broke those ties. He insisted the transfer was to help raise the profile of a growing league. However, reports emerged early in January that Henderson was unsettled in the Middle East, and 90 Minutes revealed last week he was set for showdown talks with Al Ettifaq bosses in which he was likely to ask for a move back to Europe. David Ornstein of The Athletic now reports Henderson has reached an agreement with Al Ettifaq to leave the club and he is now on the verge of joining Dutch giants Ajax on a permanent deal. Ajax have limped through the 2023-24 campaign so far and were at risk of being dragged into a relegation battle during the autumn and early winter months under head coach Maurice Stein. He has since been replaced by John Van T. Schip on an interim basis until the end of the season. Despite their poor start to the year, Ajax have now climbed back up to 5th in the Eredivisie table and are 9 points off a Champions League place, while a third-place finish in their Europa League group has seen them drop into the Europa Conference League. They will take on Norwegian side Bodo/Glimt in a two-legged knockout round playoff. Liverpool wrongly denied handball penalty against Arsenal, PGMOL confirm. Liverpool should have been awarded a penalty for a handball against Martin Odegaard during last month's 1-1 draw with Arsenal, PGMOL chief Howard Webb has revealed. The Reds and the Gunners played out a thrilling stalemate in a title showdown shortly before Christmas, with Mohamed Salah cancelling out an early goal from Gabriel Magalhaes. Shortly after Arsenal had taken the lead, Liverpool were aggrieved they were denied a penalty when Odegaard's arm brushed the ball while trying to keep his balance under pressure from Salah. The incident was reviewed by VAR but they stuck by the on-field decision. On the latest edition of Mic'd Up on Sky Sports, former referee Webb, now chief refereeing officer for PGMOL, admitted this was the wrong decision and Liverpool should have indeed had a penalty. The on-field referee recognized Odegaard had slipped and saw his arm go towards the ground. We've talked in the past about supporting arms if someone falls or breaks their fall with their arm, it's a pretty well-established concept, Webb said. In this situation, though, there's an important difference to a normal player that's fallen. This is not just Odegaard accidentally falling onto the ball. His arm does go out but then he pulls his arm back in towards his body, which is when the ball makes contact with his arm. The VAR looked at that aspect. He thought it was a case of Odegaard trying to make himself smaller by bringing his arm back to his body. That is the element that's important here. Whether it's instinctive or deliberate, he gets a huge advantage by bringing the arm back towards the ball. The feedback we got back afterwards was very clear. The game expects a penalty in this situation and I would agree. As such, this one did not reach the right outcome on that basis. The result ensured that Arsenal stayed on top of the Premier League table heading into Christmas, but they would soon surrender first place to Liverpool following consecutive defeats to West Ham United and Fulham. Mikel Arteta's side also lost 2-0 to Jurgen Klopp's men in their FA Cup third-round tie at the Emirates Stadium. Michael Ollah's release clause shows why Liverpool are only monitoring winger. This is Anfield understands Crystal Palace winger Michael Ollas is a player of interest to Liverpool, but his release clause could prove to be off-putting. It has long been suggested that Ollas would be a target for Liverpool as they explore further options to bolster their attack. The 22-year-old is a player on the club's radar, this is Anfield has learned. But interest in both him and Leeds winger Crescencio Somerville is far from advanced. Liverpool will continue to track their progress from afar, with any decision over a summer signing out wide likely to be dictated by Mohamed Salah's stance on a new contract. Either way, while the presence of a release clause in Ollas's contract at Palace may make any deal a straightforward one, its value could complicate things. Per various sources including the Mirror, the London-born France youth international can be bought out of his deal at Selhurst Park for a fee of around £60 million. This comes after Alice agreed new terms with Palace after rejecting a move to Chelsea in August, with his previous terms allowing him to leave for £35 million. Liverpool used release clauses to their advantage in their midfield rebuild, with both Dominic Szoboszlai, £60 million, and Alexis Mac Allister, £35 million, brought in without the need for negotiations. But it can certainly be argued that those players were available at better value and with more proven ability than Palace's number 7. As explained by This Is Anfield's David Lynch, Alice's record of 9 goals and 17 assists in 72 games in the Premier League is not the level of production that usually tempts Liverpool in. A £60 million outlay would make him the club's second most expensive attacking signing ever, behind only Darwin Núñez, £85 million, and their fifth costliest player in history. While it can be argued that, having only turned 22 last month, Alice has the upside to develop into a world-class option for Liverpool, he is clearly not there yet. That would be why the club's interest is only at the stage of monitoring, rather than actively pursuing, as is the case with many players of his ilk. Hello the Cop, please subscribe my channel for follow Liverpool Football Club news on every days.